Baba Shuaib, the correctional officer, born in Accra, Ghana, a Quranic researcher and a critical thinker based on religion, who does online lectures based on the guidance of the Quran on platforms such as Facebook, YouTube and TikTok since 2018. In Finland, and 13 years, QBE, in Classical Arabic and MSA in Quranic Arabic. The author of the Refer to the Quran, which helps every novice to understand the steps towards understanding the great Quran and the guidance of God in it.
Time to rise and meet the challenge. Baba Shuaib is calling you out. Meet Baba Shuaib, a correctional officer with a mission. Today he's throwing down the gauntlet to the Mushriks, no more holding back. With his logo shirt and cap, Baba Shuaib sits tall and confident. He says, the time for action is now. It's time to rise, to push past limits, and to become the best versions of ourselves. Baba Shuaib believes in the power of determination and resilience. His challenge is simple. Stand up, face your fears, and conquer them. Every day is a new opportunity, he says. An opportunity to grow stronger, to be better, and to leave a mark on the world. So, are you ready to accept Baba Shuaib's challenge? Are you ready to rise above and beyond? Join Baba Shuaib and let's show the world what we're made of, because the only limit is the one you set for yourself.
My way, I invite to Allah by perception, I and whoever follows me, and glory be to Allah, for I am not among the Mushriks, right? So the title is, we live rent-free in the minds of the Mushriks. And when I say we, you should know, quote unquote, I'm talking about those who claim to follow the Quran alone for guidance, because they misunderstand the concept of what we are representing. They don't understand our concept. Just like when Isa alayhi salam, Jesus, when he came calling the people to salvation, to come and submit to God, the enemies gave them the names Christians. Jesus never brought a religion called Christianity. Neither did Jesus ever tell anybody become Christians. No. He only said they should be what? Nasara, which means partisans or supporters to God. If you read Quran chapter 61, verse 14, the answer is there. And this is where the concept of Nasara emanated. Ansar shares the same root with Nasara, right? Nasara. So Ansar shares the same. So now the concept of being supporters of God, people now made it instead into Christianity, saying they are the supporters of Jesus instead of supporters of Jesus to God, right? So then we have the concept of Christianity, because they also took it upon themselves. So you hear people calling themselves Christians. I'm a Christian, because they accepted what the enemies are calling them. So you can look it up in the Bible for yourself. Jesus never asked anybody to become a Christian. Again, so these mushriks of today are doing the similar thing to us. We're the ones claiming to follow the Quran in the right form, the way the Prophet also followed. The Prophet called himself a Muslim. Quran chapter 27, verse 91. Go and read it for yourself. Quran chapter 27, verse 91. He says, وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and I have been commanded to be among the submitters. Muslimin are submitters. Muslim is one who has submitted his will to God, or himself to God, right? So he will only do the will of the God, right? That is what a Muslim is about. So the prophet of the Quran is a Muslim to God. He does not belong to any sect. As a matter of fact, God told him explicitly in Quran chapter 6, verse 159, that innal lazina farraqu dinahum wa kanu shi'a lasta minhum fi shay'in innama amru ila Allah. It says those who differentiate their religion and become sects, you are not with them in anything. Their affair belongs to God, or their issue belongs to God, right? Yes. Salam alajat al-Mahmud, you're welcome. So what people need to understand is we are submitters to God, and we only follow the Deen of God, which means to submit to God. So Quran chapter 3, verse 19, God says, Inna Deena Indallahil al-Islam. So when we say Islam already existed before, people don't understand. They think Islam started in the 7th century with Prophet Muhammad. No. We are only submitters to God. When you submit your will, yourself to God, that is what makes you a Muslim in an Arabic word. So take the Arabic word out. Make it an English word. I'm a submitter to God. Or simply, I'm a submitter. That is it. Do you get the concept? So people misunderstand this concept and then they think, no, Muslim, if you are a Muslim, it means it started in the Arabian Peninsula. So you are from the 7th century. Islam, then they say Islam was founded by Muhammad. You are nuts. Yes. You, the one who think Islam started was he has been asked to follow the creed of Abraham. Quran chapter 16, verse 126. Quran chapter 6, verse 160, what? 1. That he has been guided to the straight path. That is what? The creed of Abraham. Do you get my point? So if you're following the creed of Abraham, you are already submitting to God, because Abraham did nothing but submit to God. He wasn't part of any Mushriks. So people misunderstand these concepts, and then they keep saying Islam started with the Arabs. It started in this. No, please don't fool yourself. Please. Okay. So coming back to the notion of why we live rent-free in the minds of the Mushriks, let me tell you about a statement here. This is an observation, and you should pay attention to it, right? If I'm lying, just pay attention to this observation I'm going to read. If no one sees you as an enemy, it means you are not important enough. That is number one. Put that in the back, in your mind. If no one in your livelihood, if no one sees you as an enemy, it means you are not important enough. When you are very, very important, when you become very important, then other people will start taking you as an enemy. This is how life works. You need to understand the balance. Look, you are even smaller. Doesn't God have enemies? Is Iblis not the enemy of God? So God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, even have enemies. So how much less you? You understand? The moment you become less, somewhat important, you are going to have enemies. So imagine God being the most important entity, obviously. So the moment you become important, be rest assured, you are going to build up enemies. They will dislike you either for your qualities. It's either for your knowledge or your wisdom or your handsomeness or your whatever you have. That particular thing God has awarded you, that has made you more important to other people. Because of that, you are going to gain enemies. Be rest assured. This is a fact. Now, the second observation is, if no one sees you as a threat in any aspect of life, if no one sees you as a threat, it means you are not strong enough. Yes. You become a threat to other people when you are strong in what you do, when you are unbeatable. Yes, that is what makes you a threat. So if no one sees you as a threat in life, it means you are not strong enough. So try to stand your grounds to show your enemies what you are worth of. Yes, thank you very much, my brother, Alpha Music Empire, right? This brother has been very, very, very kind and generous. I kindly follow him. He's based in Germany, Alpha Music Empire. Follow his music. He has nice songs that I've been able to translate, gone through his lyrics. Yes, it makes a lot of sense, and I believe he's submitted to God. He's a Muslim, right? So kindly follow his page, his YouTube page also. Thank you very much, bro. So pay attention to the qualities of life that I'm sharing with you. If no one talks behind your back, pay attention. If no one discusses you behind your back, it means you are not outstanding enough. When you are outstanding in the things you do, people will discuss you. It's either they are discussing negativity or positivity. So try to be outstanding in what you do, and then you become the topic of discussion, right? And last but not least, if no one slanders you, right? If no one insults you behind your back or castigates you, slanders you, if no one does that, it means you can be defeated easily. Yes. When normally when you are a loser, people don't waste their time to even slander you. No, they don't waste their time. Even if your name is mentioned, when your name is mentioned, they're like, put that guy, put him aside. Let's talk about food. But the moment you become the topic of discussion and people are slandering you, hey, that guy Baba Shoaib, I hate him. Can you imagine that guy is telling us our books are garbages? Can you imagine? Yes. Those people cannot defeat you. No. So what the best they can do is to slander you, because they know they can't defeat you. They can't. So the best way to feel pleasure for themselves is to slander you behind you. So pay attention to these 4 qualities of life that I've mentioned, right? That is, if no one sees you as an enemy, it means you are not important enough. If no one sees you as a threat, it means you are not strong enough. If no one talks behind your back, it means you are not outstanding enough. If no one slanders you, it means you can be defeated easily. Pay attention. Okay, so the reason why I chose the topic, we live rent-free in the minds of the Mushriks. Remember, when I say Mushriks, you know them. They are the people who tag us as kafirs. They think we are saying we should believe in the Quran alone. No. Look, we are not using the word believe. We says you have to follow the Quran as the only source of guidance in Islam. That's what we are saying, source of guidance. Because means you have to follow the guidance. But believing, yes, we believe in even the previous scriptures. If we believe in anything that is sensible, which the Quran confirms in the past, yes, we do believe. So people who understand, let me put a verse on the screen so people can understand what we actually represent, right? So when you go to Quran chapter 2, verse 2, I'm going to read up to verse 5 so you understand what I'm talking about, because people have a misconception concerning what we represent. So here it goes. In Quran chapter 2, verse 2, it says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Right? That is the book wherein there is no doubt, as guidance for the pious. Now, who are those pious ones God is talking about? Then he says, الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Who believe in the unseen, establish the litany, that is the salat, and from what we have provided for them, they disburse. That means they expend by giving to charity. Then it says, who believe, allazina yuminuna bima unzila ilayka wama unzila min qablika wa bil akhirati hum yuqinun. Who believe in what has been revealed to you, the messenger, and what was revealed before you, the messenger, and they are certain of the hereafter, because they are certain. They believe in the words of God, saying there's a day of judgment. So they believe with certainty. Then verse 5, Ulaika ala hudan min rabbihim. Then he says, Wa ulaika humul muflihun. So those are upon guidance. We saw the guidance, right? Start from verse 2. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. So those categories, this list of categories God has given, those are upon guidance from their Lord. And they are those who are the successful. Are you getting my point? So if you want to be successful, try to fall in that criteria God is defining here. So when we, the ones who follow the Quran, we said we follow the Quran alone for guidance. Listen, we follow the Quran is enough for our guidance in Islam. It's not about belief, it's about following. There's a difference between to follow and to believe, right? I can believe in something doesn't mean I'm following it. There's a difference. You can say something to me, I can believe, but it doesn't mean I rock with you. Neither doesn't mean I can follow you. No. So with the Quran, we are doing two things. We believe and we follow. But we don't follow previous books. Neither do we follow any book beside Quran. We follow Quran because that is where we take our legislation from. Because Quran chapter 5 verse 44, Quran chapter 5 verse 45, Quran chapter 5 verse 47. وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمُ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ. Those who do not judge by what God has revealed, they are the what? They are the disbelievers. So we judge by what God has revealed, and that's the book we follow. That's the book of God, Quran. right? Okay. So then when these people call us Quranists, what they are trying to say is they are thinking we are saying we should believe in the Quran alone. That's not what we say. We never say believe in the Quran alone. That means we don't believe in the previous scripture. It will contradict chapter 2, verse 2 to verse 5. It will contradict that verse. We are not saying we should believe in the Quran alone. As a matter of fact, if an atheist, listen to me, if an atheist writes a book and he says in that book that do not kill an innocent soul, I will believe in what that atheist is writing. I believe. I put my trust there. I can say, yes, that's sensible. I believe that. Are you getting my point? Even if it is an atheist who writes a book, and then in the book he says, do not kill an innocent soul, I believe in that. I can rock with that. What is the problem? But the reason why I will not follow it is because the Quran, he cannot say it better than the Quran. So I'm following the book of wisdom. That is why Quran chapter 36, verse 1 to verse 2, it says, Yasin, then it says, Wallo Quran al-Hakim, the wise reading. The Quran is already wise on its own. Tell me what sensible thing you can say that I cannot get it from the book of God. You tell me. Are you getting my point? So the Quran is sufficient for me to follow. I can believe in what you are saying, if it makes sense. Are you getting my point? I believe that. Oh, it makes sense. Yes. Oh, Baba Shraib says he owns 3 aeroplanes. Oh, okay, I believe Baba Shraib. If you believe, what does it harm you in any way? No? Okay, I believe. So if it makes sense and it resonates with the book we are following, we believe. But we are not coming to follow your book. No. Me, Baba Shraib, sitting, I don't follow the Bible, but I believe in some things I found in the Bible. Because why? Those things, Quran confirms it. It's sensible. But I would rather follow what the Quran says. Quran is sufficient for me. This is what Mushriks don't understand because they are kaput in the head. Okay, so I'm going to break this issue down so that you get to understand. But before we go to the main point, I played a video. The video I played, the guy was saying something. So let's go back to the comedy aspect. I made people laugh in the beginning. Abu Sisi Salam. People laughed in the beginning. So let me replay those videos, then we go back. We go to the topic.
Another benefit in heaven is that no one falls sick.
No one falls sick. That's why you can manage all the 70.
Thank
why?
you.
So what and what else?
There's
why?
no sickness.
No sickness. Food.
Food is free, abundantly free. Even we as Muslims, we are not permitted to take alcohol in this world. But in paradise, we will drink alcohol.
In heaven, there is no beer. That is why they are drinking all the beer here.
And we are told that, see the funny thing, we are told that as for the alcohol in this world, when you drink it, you lose your mind. When you take it, you talk anyhow because you are now shameless. You don't care about anything because the mind is not there. But they said that the alcohol in heaven, when you drink it, you begin to fly like an aeroplane.
Hey! Quran told you people this.
Yes.
The Quran is unlike any other book.
Quran told you people this.
Yes. When you drink it,
you fly like aeroplane.
You begin to fly.
And you believed.
Yes. You begin to fly. And when you are landing, you will land on a woman.
This is hilarious.
Yes.
This is hilarious.
Yes. You begin to fly. And when you are landing, you will land on a woman. You will land on a woman.
God have mercy upon us. God have mercy upon us.
Now, so ladies and gentlemen, you've heard, and this guy was on a television, right? And he's telling this lady who hosts a program called, I think, Revelations or something. She's called Mami Grace in Ghana, right? Of course, she does interview such people. And the funny aspect is, don't blame the guy. This is what the scholars have been teaching. This rubbish is coming from the garbage books. But because those people don't study the Quran itself, so they have no idea that these things don't exist in the Quran. Those things he's saying are not found in the Quran, right? Talking about flying like an aeroplane to fall on a woman, it's like, what kind of comedy is this? What is he trying to say? What is the point? If you listen to the full video itself, it's worse than what I just played. I'm serious. The guy even going to the extent you'll be giving 72 women, and then the host asked him, then how many men is the woman going to get? Then he said only one. And then the woman was like, but that is the hypocrisy. That's not fair. And then he said, no, that's how it has to be. Even the men will have more, he said. So if this kind of people have this kind of perverted mind, and they are practicing the fake version of Islam, and they think that is a real version. If you tell them to kill somebody to go and get this fictional story they put in their head, they will do it. And so don't be surprised these people put a vest, come on, boom, they kill somebody. Yeah, don't be surprised. Because they believe in those lies they've been told. Seriously, I don't get it. Okay. Yeah. So this is what this guy has to offer by saying all these nonsensical things for free. And you can see the lady took him as a joke. She's just looking at him. And that program usually brings a lot of comedians. Like I would say, they are not coming as comedians, but the host is thinking they are not well in the head. I'm sure that's why she's laughing uncontrollable. Okay, so let's go to Asim Al-Hakim, another comedian.
You have to keep on wiggling your index finger when you sit for tashahhud, and for the last sitting of the salat, like this, shaking it in its place, not up and down, not rotating like some people do, just rather point and just wiggle it in its place as if it's shivering or shaking from the beginning till the end. And this is done because it harms shaitan and it tortures shaitan, and you move it while making dua. Tahiyyatu lillahi wa salawatu wa tayyibat, assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi, or assalamu ala nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, till the end. Once you finish dua, you don't have anything to do, you just put it down, and Allah.
God have mercy upon us.
Hey, why is it? Hey, Allah malu mangakunda memu. Yeah. Hey. So he's even confidently showing you how you should do it. Don't do it up and down. It's wrong. Don't make a circle. It's wrong. You have to do it like this. Just wiggle it a bit, like. So it's harming and torturing the devil. Are you okay? How many years you've been doing this? Imagine how many billions of mushriks on earth right now. When they go for their salat, they've been doing this. They say they are harming and wiggling. And can you imagine? Ever since you started this mushrik thing, the devil is still alive. And people are even becoming worse than before. Then we have the plurality. Is this the they, him, her? I identify as a train. So with all the harming you've been doing the devil, with all the torturing you've been doing to the devil, and with all even the stoning you go to do in Saudi Arabia, throwing the stones, then the devil, is he using bulletproof or he's wiggly proof? The devil is using wiggly proof. Hey! So this is torturing and harming the devil. So you have to, he says, if you don't do it like this, because this is like you are spanking the devil very hard. He said, don't do that. So you have to do it like this. It's like when somebody is having stroke. You know how the body, or when somebody's having epilepsy. You know how the I'm serious. Baba Shoaib is just showing you the little side of this, their madness. I'm serious. They are not okay. They are bozos. I keep telling you, think I'm joking, right? I'm serious. They are not okay. I said the scholars, they need to be sat down and reassess in the brain. I'm not joking with you, to be honest. You wake up at the right time. You understand what I'm saying. You give it time. I will keep exposing their madness to you, and then at the right time, you get to understand. Yeah? Okay. I have one video, I will not play it today, where a scholar is saying that somebody took hadith from a donkey. A donkey narrated an hadith to somebody. Yes, and they said the hadith is sahih. Hey, these people, why? Okay, I'll play it one day. Use. Okay, so to make it worse, then Asim Halakim says, and Allah knows best. Oh, you didn't hear that part? He said, and Allah's no and Allah knows best. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the topic for today. I'm going to play the video of why we live rent-free in the heads of the Mushriks, right? So first of all, let's start with Jake. Yeah, Jake Brancatella, right? He said something. I want you to pay attention to what Jake said. Pay attention closely.
Says in the Quran, most people hate the truth. Most people don't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without associating partners with him. And that when he's called upon alone, they're happy. But then when you add to calling on others with him, they're not happy, sorry, when Allah alone is called upon. But then when you add others with him, they become happy. So we're not surprised when you're not happy with this. It's what we should expect, given what the Quran and Sunnah actually say about how people are, how a lot of people are, and the fact that they love to commit shirk.
Okay. Now, pay close attention to Jake, what Jake is saying here. I want you to, we are going to reassess the statement Jake is saying. And then see, when he was talking, just check his facial expression and just check his body movement. And just check how he became uncomfortable speaking about that aspect when he mentioned also the Quran and Sunnah. Pay close attention. Correctional officer is here for a reason. I have the name correctional officer also for a reason. You know what correctional officers do, right? You can Google it. You search what correctional officers do. These guys are prisoners to me. Okay, let's go. See.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, most people hate the truth.
So he says, God subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, most people hate the truth. But this same mushrik is claiming they are in the majority. This guy is claiming they are in the majority. Yes, the Sunnis, the mushriks, yes, in the majority. So he says, God says most people hate the truth. Now check.
Most people don't worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without associating partners with him.
Most people don't worship God without associating partners with him. That is Quran chapter 12, verse 106, right? Chapter 12, verse 106. Continue.
And that when he's called upon alone, they're happy.
Now here he made a slip up, right? He wanted to say when he's called upon alone, they are unhappy, right? That is Quran chapter 39, verse 45, right? So he made a slip up. He's going to correct. So let's cut him some slack here.
But then when you add to calling on others with him, they're not happy, sorry, when Allah alone is called.
So he's in confusion, right? He's confused because what he's saying is contrary to, his actions. So let's check.
But then when you add others with him, they become happy.
So it means when God alone is mentioned, they are not happy. Just like when we mention God alone, these people are not happy. But when we should add up their garbage books, they like those garbage books. So then they will be, mashallah, he's a Sunni like us. Akhi, yalla. Alhamdulillah, I love you for the sake of Allah. Bibi. Mashallah. So, that's what you want. Okay.
So we're not surprised when you're not happy with this.
But Jake, you are speaking on our behalf. We are not surprised if you are not happy that we are mentioning Quran alone, God alone. We are not surprised that you are not happy about that. You are unhappy. So you are not happy when we mention God alone or we mention Quran alone, right? So let's go.
It's what we should expect.
Yeah, is what we should expect. We do expect that because you people are unhappy when we mention God alone, right?
Even what the Quran and Sunnah actually say.
So then he did the same thing, the Mushrik ideology. Then he brought the Quran and Sunnah
About how people are.
what the Quran and Sunnah say about how people are. You see, he was losing the words. Jake was losing words all of a sudden. And look, his reaction looking at the camera is uncomfortable. Look.
How a lot of people are and the fact that they love to commit shirk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says
that they love to commit shirk. Yes, mushriks like Sunnis, Shias, they love to commit shirk. It's a fact. Yeah, they love it. It's not a joke. Right? I found this part of his video very interesting, and his demeanor, the way he was speaking about that aspect, and when it came to the shirk aspect, he was doing this video as a rebuttal to what Andrew Tate was mocking Mohammed Hijab concerning a statement they made concerning if somebody is gay and a Muslim, and then doing shirk, which one is way okay, worse. Anyway, so let's put Jake aside because he is not the main point of discussion. But however, let me go to the main point of discussions today. Many a times these mushriks have been taking our videos or talking about us a lot in their mainstream discussions, and then they will mention the word Quranist because they are tagging us with that name. They are giving us that name, and I keep advising people don't urge them on with this. Of course, even if they want to call you, allow them to call you, but don't accept that name for yourself because they are trying to make you a sect because they are already a sect. They are the Sunnis. They are the Mushriks. Yes, they admit that. They will even tell you, I'm proud to be a Sunni. This is what they say. So allow them to be proud. Don't take that name Quranist for yourself because they are trying to make you into a sect. When you accept that, they categorize you with things that are defamatory, that are against the norms of the Deen. You are a Muslim, does it? Who happens to follow the Quran alone? Does it? For guidance. That is what Prophet Muhammad himself also did. So why should you call yourself something else? You are a Muslim, does it? It's period. Okay, so don't take up the names they are giving you. Beware of the strategy they use a lot. Beware of that. So let's take this guy. Sufi, his name is Sulfi Alchemy. And this guy is from YouTube, right? It's from TikTok. Somebody shared his video to me the other day. But let's use his words. Let's take this guy and use his words against him so that I will show you the problem with such people. Check.
Accept Quran only and reject the Hadith or the Sunnah. If you reject the Sunnah, how are you going to pray? Because the Islamic prayer, the Salah, come from Sunnah, not from the Quran. The 5 pillars come from Sunnah. The entire Islamic way of life come from Sunnah. It's funny to me how a certain group of people all the time attack Sufis of being innovators. Now the same group have innovated so much kufr into Islam that people are even confused of the holiness of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Islam is not a religion. Islam is Deen, which means way of life or decree. What way of life? What decree? The way of life as decreed by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Quran was recited by Muhammad. So if you reject the Sunnah and Muhammad's holiness, you reject the Quran altogether. The entire Deen of Islam starts and ends with the life and way of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anything that rejects that is non-Muslim.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so this is the guy. He's using the name Sufi Alchemy. Sufi Alchemy. Okay. Let me take up what he said one by one so you understand their problem, right? In their logic and the way they reason. So let's check what he said.
Should Muslims accept Quran only and reject the Hadith or the Sunnah?
So he's asking a question. Should Muslims accept the Quran only and reject the Hadith and the Sunnah? Like, look, listen. This question is a flawed question. Because number one, the Quran is the Hadith And the Quran is the only Sunnah given to Prophet Muhammad. Yes, I repeat. The Quran is the Al-Hadith given to the Prophet. And the Quran is the Sunnatullah given to the Prophet. Only. There's no other Sunnah given to the Prophet. Wallahi lazim. So now when you fall in these people's trap, when they are playing games with words, and then you start taking up their words, it will make you contradict the statement of the Quran. Because number one, God knows these people will formulate hadith books. So he calls the Quran the best hadith, Ahsan al-Hadith. And he calls the Quran the hadith. He tells the people, فَلْيَأْتُوا بِحَدِيثٍ مِثْلِهِ, let them bring an hadith like it, if they should be truthful. The hadith books they have you ever seen Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim? When you take their hadith, do you even see Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim on top? No. It's not from God. When it's from God, you say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Their hadith books is not from God. And they are attributing Sunnah of the Prophet. Where does it say Sunnah to Nabi in the Quran? It doesn't exist. So which Sunnah? And they say the Sunnah. The Quran has the Sunnatullah. Do you put any other Sunnah above the Sunnatullah? No, God comes first. Do you put any other hadith above the hadith of God? Woman asdaku minallahi haditha. Who is more truthful than God in hadith? So God comes first. So when we say the hadith is the Quran, when you say the Sunnah, you find it in the Quran. So don't go with their flow when they are trying to tell you, do you reject hadith? I don't answer such a question directly. When they ask me, are you an hadith rejecter? I ask them, which hadith are you talking about? Have you noticed when they want to be specific to answer you with a direct meaning of the hadith they are talking about, they feel embarrassed. Because when you ask them, which hadith are you talking about? Then they are like, the hadith of the Prophet. Show me, where does the Prophet say he gave you hadith? Then they are like, so you don't believe in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim like that kind? I said, well, dude, God never gave me that. Why should I believe in that? Okay, how do you pray? How do you do rakah? Hey, I don't know. So let's go to this guy.
If you reject the Sunnah, how are you going to pray? Because
oh, you are. Hey, oh, you are. Do you see what I'm talking about? That's their biggest question and the dumbest question ever. So it's to them, salvation is based on prayer. That is their salvation. It's based on how are you going to pray? This is their salvation. So this is the foolishness. They don't sit down to reflect because the hadith told them that. So that's why prayer is their number one objective. So these people can claim they love you, they are Muslims, mashallah, because they think Islam is based around prayer only. That's it. How to serve humanity, be good to humanity, righteous, they put it out of the equation. And that's why they kill each other. They can kill each other. They can kill you, even if you are their brother. They don't care. They will do all the bad deeds on earth because it tells them prayer is most important. You say, even if you are stealing, you are killing people, you are a murderer, you are a rapist. You saw the video of Hoblos, right? I played a video of Hoblos literally to you the last time. Go to my YouTube channel, check versus scholars. Hoblos is telling you, if you are a rapist, you are a murderer, you are be whatever you want, but you have to keep praying. Yes, this is what Hoblos telling. So in their mindset, right? The moment you are going against their garbage books, the first question they are going to ask you is, how do you pray? Because they've been told the prayer defines who you are. That's it.
Because the Islamic prayer, the Salah, come from Sunnah, not from the...
Then he goes ahead to say the Islamic prayer, the Salah, comes from Sunnah. Then he said what?
The Quran.
Not from the Quran. And this is why I classify these people as Mushriks. And you don't understand why I'm saying they are Mushriks. Because to them, they are associating garbage books to the Deen of God. That is what makes you a Mushrik. God doesn't like you to associate these things. And if you don't understand me, go and read Quran chapter 7, verse 33. Ya salam Zuleika. Chapter 7, verse 33. God says, Kul innama harrama rabbi al-fawahisha ma zahara minha wa ma batana wal ithma bighair wal ithma. Then he says, wal bagya bighair al-haq wa an tushriku billahi ma lam yunazzil bihi sultan. Then he says, wa an taqulu ala allahi ma la ta'lamun. This is classified as haram. So to associate with God what he has not sent you any authority is classified as haram, forbidden by God. So in order for you to associate something with God, God must first give you authority or the permission to do that. If you ask these mushriks, where is this permission in the Quran, where it literally says I should follow the Sunnah of Muhammad or should follow your garbage books, it doesn't exist. This is where they start the interpolation. So literally, when you want to have a sound discussion with this, these people are not competent enough to have a civilized discussion. I'm serious, to be honest. You guys, some of you have seen my dialogues with these mushriks. The way they are not civilized in the head. It's either they go on the rampage of insults, they start slandering you, they go off topic, they become emotional. That's what they are good at. Yes. So to have even a civilized, no. It's a game of like, no, it's not rewarding. And somebody will say, then why do you do it? I do it for the sake of you, the audience, so that you can use that to learn, to know how it is impossible to come to a logical conclusion with these bozos. It doesn't work. So let me analyze what he's saying.
The 5 pillars come from Sunnah.
Then he says the 5 pillars. There is no such thing in the Quran as 5 pillars. Because if you tell me 5 pillars, let's use the example, Hajj. If you say Hajj is part of the 5 pillars, which means it's compulsory. Because when something is a pillar, it's a foundation, you have to do it. But according to the Quran, let's take the case of the Hajj. God says, Man istata'a ilayhi sabila. Whoever has the means to it, whoever is capable of the means to it, which means it's not compulsory. So if I don't have the capability to it, I'm out of the equation. So why classify it as the pillar of Islam? It's not there. And then when we go to the matter of Siyam also, let's say I'm a sickler. If I'm a total sickler, I'm exempted. I'm out of the equation. Are you getting my point? If I'm totally sick, a sick person, I'm out of the equation. I'm not going to do that. Let's say I have permanent stomach ulcer. I can't do that. I can fast. You understand? So when you classify something as a pillar, everybody must do it. There is no exception. No exception. Everybody must do it. That is what you classify as pillar. So there is no such thing as 5 pillars of Islam in the Quran. It's a lie. Because Islam didn't start with Prophet Muhammad. So how come all of a sudden you will have 5 pillars at the time in the 7th century? So what do you mean by 5 pillars? Who is writing these garbage books for these people? But they have a parallel religion, not Islam. Islam of God? No, there's nothing like 5 pillars. Please pay attention.
The entire Islamic way of life comes from Sunnah.
So now he goes ahead to say the entire Islamic way of life, which means the Quran is useless. Are you listening to these bozos and you think they are making sense? I found out that this guy has a large following. I was surprised. I'm like, oh my God. Pay attention to the choices of words they use carefully. Always pay attention. Correctional officer is only helping you to pay attention to these bozos when they are speaking. They don't listen to themselves. So then he says the entire way of life of Islam is coming from the Sunnah and not from the Quran. So which means Quran has nothing to offer you. And that is why these people hate you when you say you are following the Quran. Because to them, you are lost. Because the Quran is not a book of guidance. According to them. Yes. If you follow the Quran alone, you are lost. Well, this is what they tell you. Yes. And this is what all their scholars say. And that's why they hate you, the Quran alone follower. They hate you. Are you getting my point? Let's say we are running a race. And we have to run in a straight line. And me being the opposition, and I'm running from another lane. I'm not on the straight line. You, the one on the straight line, you have to be laughing at me. You don't need to get angry at me. You have to be laughing because you are on the main straight way. You are not disqualified. Me, the one running on the far away race, I have to be laughed at because I'm disqualified. So now tell yourself, if you choose to follow the Quran, why is it that these people hate you? Why do these people get infuriated? You're doing something right. Are you getting my point? Why are these people getting infuriated? Why are they angry at you? Why is your sister hating you? Why is your brother angry at you? Why is your mother hating you? Why is your father hating you? Seriously. Why? Hello? Why are they hating you all of a sudden? You're doing something right. Remember the quotes I gave you from the beginning when I started this lecture. Remember what I said. Are you getting my point? They will hate you all of the sudden. I thought when I'm doing something stupid, you should be laughing instead. Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say we are cooking, right? We are cooking. We are supposed to add salt. If you're cooking food, you need to put salt, not sugar. So let's say there's a sugar and a salt on the table, and it's written on the tag. This is salt and this is sugar. And I'm cooking my own food. Listen, I'm cooking my own food, not your food. My own food, and I take sugar. You, my friend, who is next to me, what should you be doing? Are you supposed to get angry? No. It is my food I'm cooking. Then I pick up sugar. You are not supposed to get angry. You are supposed to be laughing at me. I'm serious, to be honest. Let me tell you a fact. Whether it's your mom, your dad, your cousins, your sister, your brother, none of them is supposed to get angry at you for taking sugar whilst you're cooking and you pick up sugar and the food is for you alone. Remember, the food you are eating is for you, not for them. When you pick up sugar, they are not supposed to get angry. They have to start laughing at you. Now, let's use the same analogy for your salvation. Now, the salvation is about me. It's not about you. Let me tell you, nobody can save you on the day of judgment by yourself. So in order to make this matter easy for you, let me put the verse on the screen so that you understand what I'm saying. In Quran chapter 80, verse 33, this is what God says. For iza ja'ati sahat, he says, but when the blackout comes, that is on the day of judgment, then God says, Yawma yafirul mar'u min akhi, the day a man will flee from his brother. Wa ummi wa abi, and his mother and his father. Wa sahibatihi wa bani, as well as his female companion, that is his wife, and his children. Then God says, likulli imrihim minhum yawmaizin sha'anin yugni. Then he says, on that day, for each person among them will be a matter adequate for him. Adequate for him. Are you getting the point? Okay. This verse is related to the day of judgment, right? Oh, the screen was small, but it's okay. This verse I just quoted is related to the day of judgment. You are on your own on the day of judgment. Nobody will represent you. Nobody is going to stand for you. Everybody will flee from each other because I have a matter adequate for me. You have an adequate matter for yourself because it's my own food. I'm on my own. Let me cry my own cry. So if on the day of judgment you cannot even save me, I'm on my own. So now that we are on this universe, on this earth, and I'm choosing my own path to follow the book of God, why is that a problem for you? Why? Tell me. Now, don't relatives hate each other because of money? Don't relatives hate each other because of property? They do, right? Did you see what the brothers of Joseph tried to do to Joseph in Quran chapter 12? They tried killing him in the chapter of Joseph, right? They tried killing him because of the success he's going to achieve in life. They tried killing him, put him in the pit. They wanted actually to kill him, but somebody says, put him in the pit. And then they did that. So the father thought Joseph was dead. In a family, your brother can hate you because of money. I'm serious. Your brother can hate you because of property. Your father can hate you because of money. Your mother can hate you because of money. But this hatred they have when it comes to your faith, your salvation, is way deeper than the money and the property. Have you ever thought of that? Salvation is about you. You are your own salvation, because salvation is between you and your God. It's not between you and Baba Shwaib or anybody else. Are you getting my point? But why is it that your father can hate you, your mother can hate you, your sister can hate you, your brother can, when you chose your own path? You said, this is where I want to go. Yes, I want this. It's okay for me. I'm okay. What is your problem? Yeah, I hate you. You cannot be my sister. Why are you going to follow this Quranist? They are kafirs. They are going to, okay, you leave me. I'll go to hell with them. It's okay. Why? To be honest. Why? Whenever people hate you, you are doing something right. Why will you hate me? Because if I'm stupid, if I'm blind, you should be laughing at me instead of getting angry. You don't need to be infuriated. So I just gave you the analogy of putting sugar in my food. In front of your family, you can try it if I'm joking. If you think I'm lying, try it in front of your family. You just one day, the same family who hate you because of Islam, you have chosen the Quran as your path, right? That same family, you just one day, in a jovial aspect, just be with them and start cooking and take sugar. Let them be aware this is sugar. Start putting it in your food. They will not hate you. They will start laughing at you because it's your own food. You're the only one going to eat, right? They will be laughing. But why is it that me, the same person, I'm choosing Quran for my guidance? You are infuriated. You are hating me for a decision I'm making for myself. I'm not making it for you, to be honest. For myself. Hey, I said, I don't understand. A decision I'm making for myself. You hate me. No, am I making it for you? Hey, it tells you how the devil has graduated enough to get into the heads of the people so that you become uncomfortable with yourself. So pay attention to that. This is what they are doing. This is what the Mushriks are about. And this is why I'll call them Mushriks till I leave this earth. I'm not scared of them. I'll tell them and I'll prove it to them, even in the court of law. You give me all the top names, Zakir Naik, they are Mushriks, and I can prove it, even in a court of law. Yes, I'll prove it.
How a certain group of people all the time attack Sufis of being innovators. Now the same...
You are innovators because your Sufis, the things they put in Islam is not from God. You can't prove it from the Quran. Let's sit one-on-one. I dare you, these Mushriks, these bozos online. I dare you. My phone number has been there. Do you know how many years? For almost 8 years, my phone number has been there. These people are scared. Yeah, they are scared. I don't know. If you call me, I'll record the call. Yes. Any Mushrik scholar out there, if you call me, I'll record your call. And I'll make sure I know it's you. And I'll put it out there for the world because you're scared to call. And when you call to our record, because I know you guys are liars, what you do is, hey, I called Baba Shwaib. I called him. Where's the video? And where's the audio? You don't have it. You call Baba Shwaib, me. My number is there free of charge. You guys are scared to call me. Wallahi, you are scared. I dare you. Try it. Now listen to this bozo. The Sufis, your Sufi scholars, they are innovated. They are innovators. Yes, they innovate a lot of things in Islam which doesn't exist in the Quran. So let's use your words against you.
Group have innovated so much kufr into Islam.
And they are saying we have innovated so much kufr into Islam. Hey, we have innovated so much kufr into Islam? Really? Are you sure about that? Let's check.
That people are even confused of the holiness of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu.
Now you see the mushrik. People are even confused of the holiness of Sayyidina Muhammad. This is the mushrik I told you again. The foolish people who keep calling an honorable man holy. These people are the ones who drink the spit of Prophet Muhammad. They have hadiths where they say Muhammad washed his mouth and people came beneath the reason to drink from the hey. Allah mushrikanga. Mr. Cruising Tooth says they get angry because they think we hate the prophet, yet they are the ones disrespecting the prophet. We honor the prophet by following what he fought so hard for in the name of God. Yes, they are the mushrikanga. Yes, the kengas. He's a kengas. Mushrikanga. Yeah, this is what they hate us for. Yeah. So this guy is saying we are innovators in Islam. We are innovating so much kufr. They don't understand what kufr means, right? And he said the holiness of Sayyidina. The holiness, your own books is saying he married a 6-year-old girl. And then he slept with 11 or 9 women in one night. You are still calling him holy with your foolishness. Let's go.
Islam is not a religion.
What is he saying?
Islam is Deen.
Is this guy a fool? No, ladies and gentlemen, is Deen an English word? Look at the eyes he's making again. Look at the eyes. Look, just look at his eyes. Is the word Deen, is it an English word?
Islam is not a religion.
Listen carefully. He said Islam is not a religion.
Islam is Deen.
Islam is Deen. No problem. Let's go.
Which means way of life or decree. What?
Which means way of life or decree. And this guy is against the people who follow Quran alone. Then he should go and do this argument with the Mushriks like him. What is wrong with these people? Seriously. When we are saying Islam is a religion, we are talking about believing in a supernatural being who controls your destiny. That is what religion means. Some people have different concepts of religion. There are different concepts of religion also. There's a man-made version of religion, meaning an institutionalized version of, fellowship or salvation. That is another form of deen. But when we say Islam is a religion, we are talking about belief, because you have to put your faith in the unseen who controls your destiny. That is what religion is about. That is belief. Are you getting my point? So when we say Islam is a religion, for people who keep saying Islam is not a religion, Islam, I don't know where you guys are getting your meanings from. I don't know. Seriously. That Islam is about faith. That is why you believe in the unseen. You put your faith in God. You rely on God. Have you seen God before? No, you tell me. God is a supernatural being. He's a supernatural being. You didn't create him. He's not created. You believe in him. You put your trust in him, and he controls your destiny. Number one, you didn't choose to be black like me. You didn't choose to have this eloquence in the way I speak. Did you choose to have that? No, God gave you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You didn't choose to be long, tall, short, fat, slim. You didn't choose to be a Caucasian. Did you choose that? So your destiny has already been decided, but then you have been given the free will out of the things God has destined. Then he gave you the free choice. The free choice is he showed you the right way and the wrong way. And he said, choose one. Then you make your choice. That's up to you. So if you say Islam is not a religion, then something is wrong with your head. It means you don't understand the meaning of religion. Every word has multiple meanings. So if I'm talking on my concept and I say Islam is a religion, I can prove it. Yes, it's a religion. Religion is about belief, having faith. Yes, in Islam, you have faith in God. Have you seen God before? No. That's what makes it a religion. Anything, anywhere you go, you put your faith in something. That is a religion. Even atheists, they have a religion. Yes, they believe in evolution. They believe in something. Yes. Yeah, we all have religion. That is why he sent the messenger. Quran chapter 61 verse 9. Check what God says. Let me show you this on the screen. Where is it? Where should I put it? Yeah, this one. Then I take you to 61 verse 9. So God says, هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق. Then he says, ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. He is the one who has sent his messenger with the guidance and the religion of truth, because there's a religion of falsehood. Yes, we know there are false religions all around us. Are you getting it? Oh, Mohammed, thank you very much. My mic was far away from me. Yes, I put my mic on the other side, so that's why. So I was told my sound was very low. So now thanks, Mohammed, from God for the heads up. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So I hope now you can hear me sound and clearly. Yes. Ashley Pollock says, Brother Shrive, I'm sure there is a Bukhari book of memes they use as well. Oh, I'm sure, no doubt there should be. Hey, somebody says handsome Baba, not like Siddiq Bozo. Hey, I have Siddiq Bozo's video. I'll be playing Siddiq Bozo's video, I'm sure. So, hey, yes, Sister Khadija, yes, Mom, I see you. Salam to you. Let me see. Kangaroo guys need to wear wiggle proof. Oh my God. Please, this comment, don't let the Mushriks see your comment too. Yeah, the Mushriks okay, let's continue. Anyways, so you see the verse on the screen. Huwa allazi arsala rasulahu bil huda wa din al haq. So he says, he is the one who has sent his messenger with the guidance and the religion of truth. Yes. In order to manifest it over every religion, even if the Mushriks, polytheists, dislike it. So, if God has sent the religion of truth, which means there are religions of falsehood. Yes, eventually. You can never have the truth without falsehood. There has to be falsehood before the truth arrives. There has to be darkness before the light comes. This is how nature has been designed. Are you getting my point? So God has made a balance for everything. He mentioned it, Mizan, balance. He has created a balance for everything. Are you getting my point? So when you have the falsehood, there is the truth. When you have advantage, there is a disadvantage. When you have darkness, there is light. There is a balance for everything. So when God says the religion of truth, you should know that there are false religions around you. Yes. That is why God brought the religion of truth. So if you have religions which are false, you should know there is the truth also. Are you getting my point? Okay. So let's go back to this bozo.
What decree? The way of life as decreed by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
The Prophet Muhammad didn't have his own way of life. This is what the foolish Mushriks don't understand. He doesn't understand. Even the Sunnah, he followed the Sunnah of God. Ma kana ala nabiyyi min haraj fima farada Allahu lahu. Then he says sunnatullahi. Somebody says we cannot see your screen. Yes, I'm here. I'll put myself back. I just happen to, show something on the screen. That's why I forgot. Are you getting the point? So What these mushriks fail to realize is Muhammad never brought a new concept of religion, neither did he bring a new way of life, neither did he bring new creed. He came to just what? Repeat what Abraham has laid forth or other messengers has laid as a foundation. Remember, so he was the first to bring to the Arabs also, so that they can also have the same version of the other things that has already been taught.
Quran was recited by Muhammad, so if you reject the Sunnah and Muhammad's holiness, you reject the Quran altogether. And
how does their brain work? If the Quran was recited by Muhammad, what does that got to do with the Sunnah? So if you reject the Sunnah and his holiness, hey, these people, how does the brain work? Please help me out. I need help. Hey, let me repeat what he said. He said, listen to the English.
Quran was recited by Muhammad, so if you reject the Sunnah and Muhammad's holiness, you reject the Quran altogether. And
how? Quran was recited by Muhammad, okay. Then he jumps from that, then he says, so if you reject the Sunnah, so Sunnah is the recitation of the Quran. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if his English is poor or I need a painkiller or do I need to drink water first? I don't understand the English he's speaking. Now, what is he trying to say? He says Prophet Muhammad recited the Quran. Okay, yes, he did. So if you reject the Sunnah, is the Sunnah the recitation of the Quran? Where is the connection there? So if I reject the Sunnah and His holiness, I've rejected the Quran entirely. So where does the Sunnah and the holiness come in this picture of the recitation of the Quran? I don't get the connection. These people have heebie-jeebies. What is wrong? This is why I said they need a factory reset for the brain. You think I'm joking, right?
Quran was recited by Muhammad.
Now listen, Quran was recited by Muhammad, number one. Okay, we don't disbelieve in that. We accept that. It says that in Quran chapter 98, verse 2 to verse 3. Rasulun min Allah yatuluhu sufam mutahhara fiha kutubun qayyima. So he recited purified pages to us, right? Wherein are valuable writings. Yes, he did. We believe that. So now listen, he's going to jump from the recitation of Muhammad and then he goes to where?
So if you reject the Sunnah.
So if you reject the Sunnah, how does the recitation of the Quran jump to become the Sunnah of Muhammad? How? Where is the link? There's a missing link.
And Muhammad's holiness.
And Muhammad's holiness. So the Sunnah of Muhammad and Muhammad's holiness is not something you find in the Quran. So there is a gap in what he's saying. I don't know how his brain has been wired. I don't know. There's a gap in what the thing he's saying. Muhammad recited the Quran, no problem. We know. If you reject the Sunnah, how does the Sunnah equate with the recitation of the Quran? No connection. And His holiness, how does His holiness equate with the recitation of the Quran? No connection. So he says, if you reject the Sunnah and you reject the holiness of Muhammad, this is what it becomes.
You reject the Quran altogether.
That means you reject the Quran altogether. Please let it make sense to me. I'm the correctional officer. Please let it make sense to the correctional officer. I don't know if this guy understands English, but this is what he said.
Entire Deen.
and the entire Deen. So it means we reject the Quran and the entire Deen because of things you don't find in the Quran. Hey, no, seriously, the Mushriks, I want to understand, how does your brain work? How do your brains, how does it work? Please help me out. I don't get it, how it works. Yes, Irisha, hello, how are you? I don't understand how their brain works, to be honest. Can you imagine the things he is saying, and then he says we have rejected it entirely? Seriously, like how? Hey, he says Muhammad's holiness.
Of Islam starts and ends with the life and way of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So now Islam is based on Prophet Muhammad now. So Islam is no more about Ibrahim, Musa, Isa. No, this guy is saying Islam is based on Prophet Muhammad now, the way of life. Lord have mercy. Where is Acrobetu? Acrobetu.
God have mercy upon us.
Oh my God.
Anything that rejects that is non-Muslim.
And people are taking people like this seriously. Seriously. Hey, I don't understand. When I'm listening to these Mushriks, I seem to be drinking a lot of water. I don't know. Hey, this is what they are good at. They just takfir, you know, they are good at tagging people kafir, and this is how they have been built. There's nothing sensible coming from there. I'm serious. If these guys are medical doctors, be careful if you are going to their hospitals. Any mushrik who is a medical doctor, be careful when you are going to his hospital. He will give you the wrong pills. Hey, this mushrik, the brain goes backwards. Hey, okay, let's put him aside. Let's go to the next bozo. This guy, I don't know if he sees himself like a Sahaba. Abu Taymiyyah. What is his name? Help me out. He's from UK. Abu Taymiyyah, this Somali guy from UK. Listen to him.
Number 6. Denying the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is a rebuttal on the Quraniyin.
I'm serious, guys. I can never take this guy serious, to be honest. Okay, let's listen to him first.
Number 6. Denying the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is a rebuttal on the Quraniyin. What does Quraniyun mean? Those who just believe in the Quran, right, and reject the Sunnah. From the apparent, it looks wonderful. Oh, the Quran, he holds fast and adheres to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wonderful, sah? You cannot believe in the Quran, my brothers and my sisters, if you don't believe in the Sunnah of the Messenger. Why? Because the Quran instructs you to accept the Sunnah. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. Whatever the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with, then take it. Right? Let me ask you a question. Earlier you prayed Asr, sah? The way you pray Asr, where did you learn that from? Is there mention in the Quran the intricacies of Asr? How to pray it? From A to Z? No, you are told to pray the prayers, but the intricacies of that, where do you find it? In the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? And there are many verses that you have to accept what the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said. وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ. Also when Allah says, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. You're not a true believer. حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Until they come to you to judge with that which happens between them. Right? وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ يُوحَى. Right? In this segment, my brothers and my sisters, earlier they asked me this question. I think I'll quickly address it now. Right? How do we know that the Sunnah should be accepted, or this is the truth, or even the Quran, my brothers and my sisters? It's a question that people tend to pose at times. And why should we prefer this over the other books, such as the Bible, right? The Torah, and so on and so forth. Firstly, my brothers and my sisters, there are 3 verses in the Quran. All of them are challenges to the most eloquent of Arabs to ever walk on the face of this earth. Quraysh, they weren't any ordinary Arabs. Or like us who learned the Arabic language. La. They were the most eloquent, my brothers and my sisters, and they were challenged. First challenge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says in the Quran, قل سيدنا محمد لئن اجتمعت الإنس والجن على يأتوا بمثل هذا القرآن لا يأتون بمثله. If the jinn and the ins came together in order to produce a Quran like this, they wouldn't be able to do so. Right? Disprove this ayah, produce something. Go on. Challenge number 1.
God have mercy upon us.
The funny part with this Mushriks is I don't know how their brain works, you know, like their psychology. This guy, I was told he's a Somali, and Abu Taymiyyah, he tried to act like the disciple or Sahaba of the Prophet. Like, I don't know how he sees himself. Like, this guy is the African version of Jesus. Then we have the white man version is Ahi Ayman. He is the white man version of Jesus, right? This guy is the black man. Have you noticed that he looks like the black Jesus in the, you know, the the black version? Then Ahi Ayman looks like the white version of Jesus. I don't know how they see themselves. I never took this guy serious, to be honest. They are not okay. But let's go one by one. Let's go. Yeah, he sees himself like Abu Huraira. The way he does his talk, he sounds boring, by the way. Yes, to be honest, he sounds very boring. But let's take the video again. Listen.
Number 6. Denying the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
I just, you know, it baffles me when they speak with authority, like the way they talk with authority. Number 6, denying the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Something you cannot prove from the Quran, but they say we are denying it. It doesn't exist in the Quran, but they say we are denying something which is not in the Quran. I don't get it. And then they will tangle it, and then you say that means you reject the Quran. He says that the Quran alone followers, wallahi, they reject the Quran. I don't know how their brain works. I'm serious. Hey. Okay, let's go.
This is a rebuttal on the Quraniyin.
So he says this is a rebuttal. We are going to see if he actually did any rebuttal. You watch. You see how they call us Quraniyin. It means the Quranists. It means the people of the Quran. According to their own hadith books, they don't have anywhere where it says the Quraniyun are the people of hell. Wallahi, wallahi. I dare any mushrik, any Sunni, any Shia, where it says Quraniyun or people, the Ahlul Quran are the people of hell. It doesn't exist. But you find in their hadith where it says the people of the Quran, Ahlul Quran are the people of God. You think I'm lying? Is Sunan Ibn Majah 215. Write it down. Check it for yourself. Sunan Ibn Majah 215. Go and check it for yourself. It says the Ahlul Quran are the people of God. You will never find a verse in their hadith or in any narration where it says the Ahlul Quran are disbelievers or the Ahlul Quran are going to hell. It never exists. But I don't know why these mushriks keep giving fatwa. Beware of the Quranist. Beware of the Quraniyin. Even your own garbage books is helping us against you. Mushriks, you have no way out. Seriously. They don't have a way to escape. I dare you. Bring me your intellectual people. I don't need the boozos. Bring me intellectual people among you who can have civilized discussion. I will sit down with you, and that day we'll see. Yes. I'm serious. Their brain needs factory resets. They keep giving fatwas that doesn't exist in their book. But I'm going to show you why I'm saying that. He says this is a rebuttal to the Quraniyin. That is allegedly calling us Quraniyin. No problem. They are calling us that. We never call ourselves Quraniyin. But listen.
What does Quraniyun mean? Those who just believe in the Quran.
That is a lie. Abu Taymiyyah, that is a lie. Those who just believe in the Quran, that's a lie. I gave you what we believe in the beginning, right? Quran chapter 2, verse 2 to verse 5. Read it. This is what we believe. These are what God classifies as successful ones. We believe in what was revealed before and what was revealed now. That is it. We never said we only believe in the Quran. That is a lie again. These guys even misrepresent the prophet. They lie against the prophet. Who told you they cannot lie against us? They lie about everything about Islam. They lie about God. They lie about the prophet. And they are lying against us. Who can't they lie about?
Right? And reject the Sunnah.
Which Sunnah? No, the question is, whose Sunnah? Because if you are talking to Baba Shuaib, you say the Sunnah of the Prophet, come and prove it in the Quran. It doesn't exist. In the Quran, there's nothing called Sunnah to Nabi. It doesn't exist. There is nothing called Sunnah to Rasulullah. It doesn't exist. There is nothing called Sunnah to Muhammad. It doesn't exist. Wallahi lazim. It doesn't exist in the Quran. So how can you tell me I'm rejecting something which is not part of the Deen of God or the Islam of God? How? How? But like I said, they need a factory reset. That's how their brain works. Thank you very much, Wazir Akbar, for the gifts. I appreciate that. So let's go.
From the apparent, it looks wonderful. Oh, the Quran, he holds fast.
From the apparent, he's prisoners. Oh, he looks wonderful. He holds fast. The Quran, mashallah, he's prisoners. Listen.
And adheres to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Huh? Wonderful, sah?
Wonderful, huh? He's prisoners, huh?
You cannot believe in the Quran, my brothers and my sisters, if you don't believe in the Sunnah of the Messenger.
So which one is superior now? Now, Baba Shuaib is a correctional officer for a reason. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear what he just said? You cannot believe in the Quran if you don't believe in the Sunnah they have created and formulated. If you don't believe in that, you cannot believe in it. So which one is superior? Now give yourself the answer. Ladies and gentlemen, which one is superior according to this bozo? Which one is superior? Are you getting my point? If I tell you this is the mic and this is my bottle, if I tell you you cannot touch this mic unless you touch this, the mic doesn't become superior. This one becomes superior because this one gives you the access to this. So the moment I say you cannot touch this unless you go through here, it means this one holds the command. But I'm surprised the people who follow these bozos don't have the capacity to reason because they've been told not to use their logic. Wallahi, this is what they tell the sectarians. In the sectarian religions, they tell them in Islam, you cannot use your common sense. Haven't you heard that before? They say in Islam, it's haram for you to use your common sense and your logic. He says, don't use it. Allow it for the dead scholars to use it for you. The ones in the desert who never use a tablet or how do you say AI? Who never use iPhone. They should decide your logic for you. So no wonder they will tell you keep doing this to torture and harm the devil. Hey, Mushriks, why? They say if you do this in your salah, and then the devil is, you are whipping the devil. Allah, you are disturbing people. So Hannah Banana says he cracks his knuckles as he goes on into the next sentence. Yes, about the Sunnah, and then raises his voice. They think they have authority. Well, don't worry, God is on my side. I will make all of you mushriks look stupid. Inshallah, you see. Hey, thank you very much for the gift, Hannah Banana. I appreciate that. Let's
Why?
go.
Because the Quran instructs you to accept the Sunnah.
It doesn't exist. Do you see how they talk with authority? Do you see how he said it explicitly? Because the Quran instructs you to follow the Sunnah. I dare you, Abu Taymiyyah, the African Jesus, the black Jesus. Yes, Ayman, your friend is white Jesus. You are the black Jesus. I dare you. Yes, I know you guys are hiding now, watching me in secret. Yes, I dare you. Come and show any of you, the Mushriks, come live or call me. We arrange a dialogue and show me where Quran instructs us to follow the garbage Sunnah you have written. I dare you. Mushrikin Banza.
Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَتَاكُمْ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ.
This is what they do. Now they will take a full verse and take a bit chunk of it and quote it and leave it hanging. Then you think they are giving you evidences to their claims. It is not an evidence. It's taken out of context. This is what they do. Yes, they are professional liars and they are professional schemers. Let me show you the secret. I'm going to put a verse on the screen. Pay attention. Quran chapter 3 verse 78. I'm going to show you their secret and how they twist verses. And then you might think it's coming from the Quran. So God says in Quran chapter 3 verse 78. Check the screen. I'm going to put it on the screen. This is what God says. وَإِنَّ مِنْهُمْ لَفَرِيقًا يَلُؤُونَ أَلِسِنَتَهُمْ بِالْكِتَابِ لِتَحْسَبُوهُ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَمَا هُوَ مِنَ الْكِتَابِ وَيَقُولُونَ هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ وَمَا هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ وَيَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. Have you seen the verse? It says, and indeed among them is a group who distort the book. What they do is they will distort the book to make you consider it is from the what? From the book. While it is not from the book, and they say it is from God, while it is not from God, and they say a lie about God while they know how what they are lying about. But because you are not learned enough, you cannot investigate what they are saying. So then you believe. Just like the Abu Taymiyyah is doing. You might think he's knowledgeable. You might think he's actually giving evidences to their statement. Do you remember when he explicitly says the Quran instructs you to follow the Sunnah? Do you remember when he said that? Now let's hold him accountable. Let's go back to the bozo and check something.
Whatever the Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came with, then take it.
Is that what the verse says? He quoted chapter 59 verse 7. He quoted chapter 59 verse 7. Then he took the part where he want to lie to you and he says, whatever the messenger gives you, take it. Okay, no problem. Let's assume we agree. Did the messenger give you Sahih Bukhari? Okay. Let's make it easy for them. He quoted chapter 59 verse 7. وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. He quoted just a chunk of the verse. It's a big verse. One verse, a big one. Let me show you on the screen so that you know what I'm talking about. This is the verse. Chapter 59 verse 7. This is the verse on the screen. Do you see how big the verse is? Where God says, مَا أَفَاءَ اللَّهُ عَلَى رَسُولِهِ مِنْ آلِ الْقُرَىٰ فَلِلَّهِ وَالرَّسُولِ. Then he says, وَلِذِي قُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينِ وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ كَيْ لَا يَكُونَ دُولَةً بَيْنَ الْأَغْنِيَاءِ مِنْكُمْ وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُمْ فَانْتَهُوا. Then he says, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ شَدِيدُ الْعِقَابِ. This is the full verse. Do you see the full verse? You check it for yourself. Chapter 59, verse 7. This is the full verse. Now I'm going to read the translation. It says, whatever God awarded to his messenger from the people of the towns, because there's a fight, and we call it spoils of war. So when there's a fight, there's a spoils of war, which means there's a booty. From the people of the towns, it does belongs to God and to the messenger and to the relatives and the orphans and the poor people and the wayfarer, so that it shall not be rotated between the rich people among you, right? And whatever the messenger gives you, you see the context? It's talking about the spoils of war from the people of the towns. Okay. Whatever the messenger gives you, because a messenger only delivers a message or gives you what God asks him to give you. He cannot act on his own. Quran chapter 21, verse 27. The messengers do not precede God in word. They act by his command. Bear in mind, right? Okay. So, and whatever the messenger gives you, take it. And whatever he forbids you from, then refrain from it and beware of God. You see the context? It's talking about the spoils of war. Indeed, God is severe in punishment. So check all the context. Start from verse 5, verse 6, verse 7, coming down. Are you getting the point? Okay. Now, the verse I just read, this out of this verse is what this bozo was taking bit of it to quote. Now I'm taking him back. Right. Check. Let's go back.
Let me ask you, right? As I came with, then take it. Right? Whatever the Messenger came with, then take it. You to accept the Sunnah. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَتَاكُمْ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ.
You see what he did? That is the game of semantic they play. Allah says in the Quran, وَمَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ. It's a big verse. He took the part he wants to lie to you. Then now he's saying,
whatever the Messenger came with, then take it.
Whatever he came with, take it. Okay, he brought the Quran. Let's assume we agree what you're saying. He brought the Quran, we took it. The last time I checked, he didn't bring Sahih Bukhari. These bozos, they don't have an argument. Look, the last time I checked, the messenger didn't bring Sahih Bukhari to me. He didn't bring Sahih Muslim or the garbage books. So if you say whatever the messenger brings, what did he bring? You ask the Mushrik, what did he bring? The Quran. I've taken it. now what? Akhi, but how do you pray? I was trying to frustrate you, Mushriks. Wallahi, wallahi. You don't even know how to think. Look, logically, they don't have an argument. Let's continue.
Right? Let me ask you a question.
Remember, he says he's going to do a rebuttal against the Quraniyin. So he quoted one verse and he flawed. It's a mistake out of equation. So we defeated that argument. Now we are giving him a chance to continue. He says they are going to do rebuttals against the Quran followers. Right? So let's go. He failed one mission. Let's go.
You prayed Asr, sah? The way you pray Asr, where did you learn that from?
I don't pray Asr. If you're asking me the way I pray Asr, why will I do what God never gave me? So I don't pray Asr. It's not from the book of God. No. You understand? No, it's not. Hey, salam, brother Khalil ibn Bilal Azm. You're welcome. Salam to you. I don't pray Asr. It's not in the book of God. There's nothing called Salat al-Asr. So why should I do what God never asked me? So your second question is stupid question. Now check.
Is it mentioned in the Quran, the intricacies of Asr? How to pray it? From A to Z? No, you are told to.
If it's not, why will I do what is not there? A to Z is not there. Hello? Look, you are working for a company, if you are given a clause, a contract, and there's a clause. If that thing is not in the clause and the agreement, Why will you do it? No, why will I go doing something which is not part of the agreement and the contract? And why are you holding me accountable for what is not in the contract?
Pray the prayers, but the intricacies of that, where do you find it? In the Sunnah of the Messenger.
In the Sunnah of Imam Bukhari, you go to the garbage books to find that. It's not from the Prophet. Because out of your foolishness, are you not the same people who are saying the Prophet's life, khuluqu Quran? You say the character and the life of the Prophet is all based on the Quran. So if it is based on the Quran and we don't find Salat al-Asr in the Quran, how yet are you telling us that the Prophet taught you people the Salat al-Asr? Something is wrong. It means the Prophet was following something else other than the Quran. That's interesting. Yes, exactly. Quran chapter 42 verse 21. It says, Am lahum shuraka shara'u lahum min ad-din ma lam yazanu bihillah. Do they have associates, that is idols, who legislate for them of the deen to which God has not authorized? Do they have that? Yes, they do. The Mushriks, they do.
Right? And there are many verses that you have to accept what the Messenger ﷺ said.
But we accept what the Messenger said based on the Quran. Yes, if he says something, we accept. No, what is your issue? You the Mushriks. I don't understand. Why are you trying to force an argument in the book when it doesn't exist? We don't reject the Messenger. We accept whatever he said from the book of God. We do.
وَمَا كَانَ لِمُؤْمِنٍ وَلَا مُؤْمِنَةٍ. Also when Allah says, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ.
This is what they do on the rampage, quoting verses. He goes to chapter 33, he quotes a verse. He go again, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, Quran chapter 4, verse 65. Out of context. Look.
You're not a true believer. حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Until they come to you to judge with that which happens between them.
Read the context. It's talking about the hypocrites at the time of the Messenger when he was alive. Read from verse 61. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you like, start from verse 59. Start reading downwards. Read the context. It is talking about when he was alive. They were hypocrites. They refused to come to the Messenger. So God was telling them they are not believers until they make the Messenger judge between them by using the words of God for them, before they can become believers, so that they can submit. Okay.
Right. وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ.
Then he goes again to quote chapter 53, Surah An-Najm, verse 3 to verse 4. وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا وَحْيٌ. They will never read the context again. Look, the honorable man is a prophet and a messenger at the same time. He had two duties. As a prophet, he has his own personal life. He can speak on his own as a prophet. He did that in Quran chapter 66, verse 1, where God questioned him by saying, Ya ayyuhan nabi, lima tuharrim ma ahallallahu laka tabtagi mardata azwajik wallahu ghafurur rahim. Why do you prohibit what God has made lawful for you? He used his own accord to speak. But in Quran chapter 53, verse 3 to verse 4, the context is talking about the thing he is speaking about. He's not speaking by his own desires. He's speaking based on the inspiration given to him, that is the Quran. Yes, that is the context. You read it. You get what I'm saying.
Yuha. Right? In this segment, my brothers and my sisters, earlier they asked me this question. I think I'll quickly address it now. Right? How do we know that the Sunnah should be accepted, or this is the truth?
So now, how do we know that the Sunnah should be accepted, or this is the truth? Listen to the answer he's going to give.
Even the Quran, my brothers and my sisters. It's a question that people tend to pose at times. And why should we prefer this over the other books, such as the Bible, right? The Torah, and so on and so forth. Firstly, my brothers and my sisters, there are 3 verses in the Quran. All of them are challenges to the most eloquent of Arabs.
Among all the challenges you find in the Quran, it never challenged anybody to bring your books, Bukhari, where God will say, bring a book like Sahih Bukhari or bring a book like Sahih Muslim. No, those challenges don't exist in the Quran. You only find challenges about the Quran, the book of God, not your Sunnah. I don't get it. What is this straw man fallacies for? Look.
To ever walk on the face of this earth, Quraysh, they weren't any ordinary Arabs.
Hey! Where did God say this?
Or like us who learned the Arabic language, la. They were the most eloquent, my brothers and my sisters, and they were challenged.
Where did God say that? That they are the most eloquent? Who gave them that title?
First challenge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, قل سيدنا محمد لئن اجتمعت الإنس والجن على يأتوا بمثل هذا القرآن لا يأتون بمثله.
Quran chapter 17 verse 88. He is quoting. But this quotation goes against the Mushriks because they are the ones claiming there are other books attached to the Quran, like the Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim. They are attaching these garbage books to the Quran. But you are quoting a verse that God is throwing challenge to you, the Mushrik, reading the verse. So now listen.
If the jinn and the ins came together in order to produce a Quran like this, they wouldn't be able to do so.
To Quran like this, they wouldn't be able. Just like you produce your garbage books, you were not able to produce like the Quran. That is the point. Because your books come from, is a man-made version book. And the Quran is claiming to be from God. So why create your own concept of books and then you are attaching it to the book of God? And you said that some of them will say the most authentic book is the Hadith.
Right? Disprove this ayah, produce something. Go on. Challenge number one.
This is why I stopped listening to him, because he wasn't making sense anymore. He said we are going to do rebuttals against the Quraniyin, and there was no rebuttal. There was nothing. Look, when I started listening to this guy's video, did you see how boring my lectures became? The lectures became very dull. It was boring because of this guy. The way he is talking is even boring. He has to learn how to go and how to talk. Seriously, let's put him aside. This is Abu Taymiyyah. Leave my page. You guys are not making sense at all. Bozo. Leave my page. Anyways, now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys miss Siddiq Bozo. Do you remember Siddiq Bozo? Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember Siddiq Bozo? You remember Siddiq Bozo? Let me see. Do I have the video here? Siddiq Bozo. Where is this video of him? Oh, where is he? Oh, where did I put? Let me see if I can find. If I don't find this video, it will pay me. Hey. This guy. Let me play this video. This guy, do you remember him? I know you remember him.
The Quran is
this guy.
The Quran is enough for us. The Quran is enough for us to prove our religion. The Quran is enough to prove our religion. And every Muslim says this. What do we mean? It's enough to prove
They think they are sensible and they keep on making mistakes.
So the Quran alone is enough for us to prove anything of our religion. I feel like crying, eh?
I love Shirk. So, ladies and gentlemen, do you remember Mr. Spread Your Legs? There's no problem. You spread your legs left and right, and he was doing like this. Do you remember that guy? That was Siddiq Bozo. He made our life very easy. He was propagating our own message for us. So the video I played of him, he was actually saying the Quran alone is enough. I played the video. You heard it, right? Okay, so now listen to Siddiq Bozo. He made a new mess up video. So let's play the new mess up he did. He fumbled again. So let's take that video now. I'm going to put the video here. We are going to end the topic for today with using this Bozo. Ever since we finished that last debate, he has never been okay in the head anymore. He's been very emotional, depressed. So let's put his video to end the program with it. So this is Siddiq Bozo.
That laziness is one. It's one of the factors. When someone, those of them who have become Quranists today, when they realize that to learn Islam is too long and they are in haste to become preachers, they are in haste to start talking on social media and to start talking in the masajid, and they look at the Quran, say, hey, this is plain to you, when am I going to complete this? For example, this is the Quran, right? So, hey, when am I going to finish this? Now to finish this, they say, okay, these are the ahadith. Just imagine. You finish, then you have to go to Muwatta. You have to go to Bukhari, Muslim, Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Ibn Majah, Abu Dawud. Then you finish, you have to go to, how do you call it? Risala. Then you have to go to the Shuruh, Awn al-Ma'bud. You have to go to Tuhfat al-Ahwazi. You have to go to Sharh Sahih al-Bukhari. Fatul Bari, Umdat al-Qari. You have to go to Sharh Sahih Muslim. You have to go to Sharh al-Tirmidhi. You have to go to Sharh Abi Dawud. You have to go to, then in Lugha, in Arabic language, you have to learn this so. Behind me are the Lugha books. You can see plenty, and you have to study this and study that. Recently, we are doing some program. We are doing some program, some dawrat, and you see the books that we are going to study in Lugha. So they see all this, and then the best way they can shun or they can run away from this kind of studies is to say that the hadith is a lie. Now that will make it's a shortcut to become a social media scholar, to become the scholar of the ignorance, right? It's a shortcut. You just be like, the hadith is a lie. All these books are garbage. The short way to do this, to run away from these studies, is to say that the hadith are garbages. And you know one thing about Islamic studies, you don't study to forget. It's not chew and pour. We don't chew and pour. If it is the Quran, you have to keep it. If it's the hadith, you have to keep it. If it's the shuruh, you have to keep it. If it's the lugha, you need to memorize it. Those who have even studied the basics of lugha today, some of them are on the live, they can tell you that even the lugha books, not even the sort of nahu and the basics of learning, I made them memorize. Okay, the basics of conversations. And that is Islam.
God have mercy upon us. God have mercy upon us.
Hey, Allah, these Mushriks, eh?
They think they are sensible and they keep on making mistakes.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard Siddiq Bozo. This is the guy who became emotional. All of a sudden, he's scared to mention my name. You heard when he mentioned the word garbage. You already know who has been using the word, right? He's just scared to mention my name again. Hey, Siddiq Bozo, we miss you, Siddiq. Siddiq Bozo, let's take your video one by one. Let's see the madness you guys are displaying to us. We are going to check you. This is correctional officer. So now, look, pay attention closely to what Siddiq Bozo was saying. Let's go.
This lecture, we've mentioned that laziness is one. It's one of the factors. When someone, those of them who have become Quranists today.
So, those of them who have become Quranists today, because this is the name they are giving us. because we are advocating for the book of God alone to be followed for guidance. They hate the fact. And I'm going to show you from Siddiq's video, he's making the matters easy for us. Why they hate us because of what we advocate for. You are going to understand that today from this guy's video. Now listen.
When they realize that to learn Islam is too long, and they are
when they realize that to learn Islam is too long, to learn Islam, because to them, Islam cannot be gained from the Quran. Islam is gained from the external sources. That's where Islam is gained. Okay, so check.
in haste to become preachers. They are in haste to start talking on social media and to start talking.
So then he says we are in the haste because we found out it's too long to learn Islam. So we are in the haste to become preachers. We in the haste to become scholars. We are in the haste to become, influencers on the social media, talking about the Quran. So now check.
The masajid. And they look at the Quran. Say, hey, this is plenty.
Now he said we look at the Quran and we say, hey, this is plenty. It's 114 chapters only. There's no Quran alone follower out there who looks at the Quran and say, oh, this is plenty. No, we don't do that. But I'll tell you where the problem is, where these mushriks think there's a problem. Because we don't learn their tajweed. You know, the weed, tajweed. We don't learn that way. It infuriates them. They want the Quran to be recited in their own way. They want the Quran to be read as if they had the authoritative figures on the Quran. They impose laws on how the Quran should be read, how the Quran should be recited. They bring all that law. The Prophet has no idea what is meant by tajweed. The word tajweed is not in the Quran. I don't know if because these people like smoking weed, that's why they call it tajweed. Look at his lip. You just look at Siddiq's lip. I don't know if that is why they say tajweed a lot. I don't know. You should rather take tajibush because the bush is a lot than the weed. So take bush. Tajibush is better. Now, I'll show you the reason why they hate the way we are following the Quran. Listen.
When am I going to complete this? For example, this is the Quran, right?
So now he's going to take the Quran to show you. And he's going to say that somebody who follows the Quran alone is thinking that this book is too much. Now, check.
So, hey, when am I going to finish this? Now, to finish this.
When am I going to finish? Then he jumped. I don't know how they have been wired in the head. When they are talking, they don't know how to have a civilized, even monologue. A civilized monologue. They don't know how to do it. There are videos that I bring here to play. It's a monologue, right? They are alone normally. But do you see the heebie-jeebies, the way they speak? They speak like this. That's how they speak. So their statement is like tangled. You know how when you have wires in your house, the way the wires are tangled and tangled, that's how they speak. So their words are full of entanglement. They say this, they jump from here. So now he was just speaking about the Quran. Now listen to the statement. He's jumping from the Quran. Look where he's going.
They say, okay, these are the ahadith. Just imagine.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Hannah Banana. Have you noticed how Siddiq took the Quran from beneath? Do you see where he placed the Quran? Look at the video. Let me go back. I'll come back to 40 seconds. Look, when he was looking for the Quran, look where he took the Quran from. Ladies and gentlemen, look.
And they look at this. For example, this is the Quran.
He was looking for the Quran. The Quran is somewhere down under somewhere. There is no respect for the book of God. So he put it under, somewhere down, hiding. But do you see the garbage books behind him? The prominence they've been given? Are you paying attention? The garbage books rather have the higher shelves, the prominence they have. But when he was looking for the book of God, he has to even struggle to find where it was hiding, down there. When these people make videos and you see the books behind them, psychologically, it has a meaning behind it. They are trying to tell you, look how knowledgeable I am. Oh, I've read all these books, these garbage books. I've read all these garbage books. So Siddiq Bozo went down there for the Quran. Assuming if the Quran was even classified part of this prominent books behind him, he would have just done this and took the Quran. So he was looking for it somewhere because they have no time for those books. So he's rather insulting us because we spend our time studying the Quran. So now check the statement he's going to say.
Quran, right? So, hey, when am I going to finish this? Now to finish this, they say, okay, these are the ahadith.
Now you see the way the ahadiths are. He pointed to you. They are up there on the shelf. I don't know if that is his bookstore, because this guy is a businessman also. He wants to be a politician now. So he went for the bookshelf, pointing you the expensive hadiths. By the way, the hadith books, they are very expensive. They sell it more expensive than the Quran, to be honest.
Just imagine. You finish, then you have to go to Muwatta.
So when just imagine, he's going to show you how he wasted his time learning garbage books. So you have to go to Muwatta, somebody's opinion. So they go to the book of Muwatta. He's telling you the list.
You have to go to Bukhari.
Then you have to go to Bukhari, somebody who came 200 years after the Prophet, who started writing hadith 200 years after the death of the Prophet. Okay.
Muslim, Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Ibn Majah.
Muslim, Tirmidhi, Nisa'i, Ibn Majah. You might remember Ibn Majah says we are the people of God. People of the Quran are the people of God. Remember that. Sunnah Ibn Majah 215. Check it out for yourself. He says we are the people of God. So it goes against their own garbage books. Okay.
Abu Dawud. Then you finish.
He gives you all the list of the trash. Abu Dawud.
You have to go to how do you call it?
And remember, these books he's mentioned, they are volumes. Sahih Bukhari has to up to volume 9 or volume 10. Sahih Bukhari alone, Imam Bukhari's book, there is up to volume 9 or volume 10. It's a lot. It's not just, he's not talking about just one single book where you take 10 pages and it's done. So you have to go through all these garbages and read, and then they say these garbage are explaining the Quran. Okay, let's go.
Risala. Then you have.
Then you go to other garbage books, Risala, this, just to before coming to Quran. Let's go.
To go to the Ashuruh, Awn al-Ma'bud.
You go to Ashurur, Amun Ma'bud. With all these garbages Siddiq can learn, in the debate, you couldn't prove anything. Hey.
God have mercy upon us.
So with all these garbages this guy has in his library, he couldn't prove anything in the debate we had. I'm serious. Okay, listen.
To go to Tuhfatul Ahwazi, you have to go to Sharh Sahih Bukhari, Fatul Bari, Umdatul Qari. You have to go to Sharh Sahih Muslim. You have to go to Sharh Tirmidhi. You have to go to Sharh Abi Dawud. You have to go to, then in Lugha, in Arabic language, you have to learn this so. Behind me are the Lugha books. You can see plenty, and you have to study this and study that. Recently, we are doing some program. We are doing.
This guy, is he okay? Hey. Assuming if you are in the kitchen with your mom, and then your mom says, Baba Shraib, go to the fridge and bring me the bottle of water. And according to Siddiq Bozo, it means you have to go and learn the grammar that your mom used. Go to the scholars to go and learn the grammar. Go and open the books of tafsir so that it will be translated to you. Go and check the way your mother pronounced it, and go and check how they use, whether it's a kasra, fatha. Go and check all these unique components of the words your mom used before you come and give her the bottle of water from the fridge. This is what this guy is telling you. Quran chapter 22 verse 78. God says, Huwa ajtabakum wa ma ja'ala alaykum fid din min haraj. Huwa ajtabakum wa ma ja'ala alaykum fid din min haraj. He says he is the one who has chosen you and has not placed any difficulty upon you in the religion. Yeah, salam, brother Hassan. So God didn't place any difficulty upon us in Islam. But these bozos, what they are trying to do to you is to decorate Islam in a difficult way, to make you think I have to go to this garbage book, that garbage book, that garbage book, that the Prophet and the Sahaba were not even aware of. I'm serious. The Prophet and his Sahabas, companions, were not even aware of these garbage books this guy is showing you. None of these books he's telling you existed at the time of the Prophet. I'm serious. But yet these guys want you to give credence to the book of their sheikhs, their scholars, because they are mushriks. And I'll show you the foolishness he's sitting there talking about. You see. Listen.
In some programs, some dawrat, and you see the books that we are going to study in Lugha. So they see all this, and then the best way they can shun or they can run away from this kind of studies is to say that the hadith is a lie.
So with all these nonsensical things he said, with the decoration of these garbage books around him, you see where he ended the statement. He says, because we avoid all these garbages so that we can say the hadith is a lie. I did a debate with you. You were supposed to come and prove how the hadith explains the Quran. Throughout the 4 hours debate, you couldn't prove anything. Where the hadith explains the Quran, he couldn't prove anything. The debate is there on my page. Go and check. It's on my YouTube channel. I have it there. And it will be there. Yes. You go and see the mess up this guy was doing. He thought we are there to do the reciting of the Arabic competition. If it's about reciting Arabic language to compete, what do you think Baba Shoaib will be out there doing? To show who that I know how to recite the Quran better than who? This guy was in the debate front just to show people that he can recite Arabic language. That's all. Nothing was he able to prove. Now check.
Now that will make it's a shortcut to become a social media scholar. To become.
You see how he's pained and he's crying foul because his social media scholar status has failed. Ended by the correctional officer, right? That is his first and last debate. It's there online. Go and check. For all those who are sincere, you watch the debate, you see. None of the things he came to do was sensible. He couldn't prove any argument there where the hadith even explains the Quran. He failed the argument. He failed the question and answer. He failed the presentation. He failed everything about the debate. Wallahi, go and check. And this is how this guy became depressed. He went in hibernation for like a year. So now he just came back and he's trying to mention me, but he's scared. Siddiq, next time I say, Fee, just mention me, okay? Correctional officer is your worst nightmare. Let's go.
I'm the scholar of the ignorance, right? It's a shortcut. You just be like, the hadith is a lie. All these books are garbage.
When you see him saying this, he's talking about me. All this, Baba Shoaib keeps, I'll tell you. I even said it in the debate in front of you. I'm not scared of you. You remember, I'm a Nima boy. So me, I'm not scared of you, the bozu. I told you in the debate, this garbage book, I told you.
The short way to do this, to run away from these studies, is to say that the hadith are garbages.
Now, the long route you have, was it the Prophet who gave you that? That long route you are putting on your video, was it the Prophet who gave you? Was it the Prophet who gave you this long route, the garbage books you are showing us from your back? The Prophet gave you that?
And you know one thing about Islamic studies, you don't.
Now, to make it worse, he says, do you know one thing about Islamic studies? You see, to them, Islamic studies is about learning the garbage books they have, the hadith books, the muwatta, the tafasirs. That's Islamic studies. To them, Islamic studies is not about the Quran. Well, the Quran gave you Islam. So what do you mean Islamic studies? Where?
study to forget. It's not chew and pour. We don't chew and pour. If it is the Quran, you have to keep it. If it's the hadith, you have to keep it. If it's the shuruh, you have to keep it. If it's the lugha, you need to memorize it. Those who have even studied the basics of lugha today, some of them are on the live. They can tell you that even the lugha books, not even the sort of nahu and the basics of learning, I made them memorize.
So he's telling you about the basics of the sort of. This guy is just promoting his slave masters. It's all about the sort of the reading, the tajweed. This is what they are about, to beautify themselves with nonsensical aspect of jumbles, and then they think that is Islam. So he's going to seal the statement with a statement, with the statement with a word. Check what he said.
Okay, the basis of conversations, and that is Islam.
So he went ahead to mention all these jumbles, and he says the basis of conversation, and he says, and that is Islam. So to them, that is the definition of Islam. That you need to know all these garbage books he put, and that is why all the Sunnis, the Salafis, the Wahhabis, you see them with the cabinet behind them and full of books, and the Quran is not there. And those cabinets they put behind them, they don't normally put the Quran. Quran is somewhere on the different, is down there somewhere. They don't give credence to the Quran, to be honest. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the bozos I presented to you today. The three bozos. I presented Abu Taymiyyah, I presented Jake Brancatella, I presented Sufi Alchemy, then I presented Siddiq Bozo. Right? Somebody sent me this video of him. I saw it. I said, oh, this guy has been missing for long. What happened to him? His social media status just went down. So now he's coming to bring his reputation. No, you lost your reputation long time ago, Bozo. So this is the nonsensical aspect of the things these kind of people will be telling you. That's Siddiq Bozo. If you have missed him, that is Siddiq Bozo. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, Baba Shoaib, I've done 2 hours, 20 minutes. I think it's enough. I need to go on TikTok for a bit before I go up. So, I appreciate... Oh, sorry. Let me see some of the questions I've tagged. Somebody says, Ayad Bilal says, Salam Baba, I hope you're well. In your translation of the Quran, you have the word ummi as unlettered. Doesn't that word mean Gentile, like the prophet was a Gentile, not a Jew? So what I did is, if you take the translation, for instance, Quran chapter 7, verse 157, I think people misunderstand the way I did the translation. Let me put the word here. I put it on the screen here. This is the translation I used. In Quran chapter 7, verse 157. I use the word who followed the messenger, the unlearned prophet. But if you check the footnotes, I put unlettered. There's a reason why I put unlettered. That is for people who have another understanding to the said verse. That's why I put the into bracket up there a little bit. So if I put the footnotes, let me see. If I put the footnote option, let me see if it gives me the option here. Yeah, when you read with the footnote, you see I put into bracket and I brought the unlettered there. So that is for people who understand that concept of word to be unlettered. So that's why it's up there. But the main understanding that I put there is unlearned. This unlearned there means this prophet never learned any scripture before the Quran, before what he has given. He's unlearned before he received. So he never read any book prior to this. So that's what I meant by the unlearned. You understand? But those who are taking the understanding that he is unlettered, I put it into the bracket. That is for them, their understanding. So I use the word unlearned. Gentile, yes, people, you can use Gentile, but the reason why I don't agree with the meaning Gentile, if you read Quran chapter 2, verse 78, it clearly tells you that among the children of Israel, some were also ummiyuna. So if among the children of Israel, some are classified as ummiyuna, are they also Gentiles? You know, there's a problem there. So check the understanding carefully. Now, Rahil Ansari says, brother, please explain about Sabbath in the Quran. The Sabbath day issue mentioned in the Quran. For instance, if we go to Quran chapter 16, verse 125, 124. If you read Quran chapter 16, verse 124, it says the Sabbath, innama ju'ila sabtu ala allazina ikhtalafu fi. It says the Sabbath was only assigned to those who differed in it. And indeed, your Lord will judge between them on the day of resurrection concerning what they have been disputing about. So if you read the notion of the Sabbath day, it was assigned to the children of Israel. That is the Sabbath, the Sabbath. It's assigned to the children of Israel, right? There are verses, a lot of verses stipulating to that. So if you go to my translation, for instance, if you go to my translation, you can go here, then you write this in the search column. When you go to the search column, if you're checking on the screen, if you go to the search column, I put the word Sabbath up there. It will bring the result, the search results. It has been mentioned 5 times in the Quran. So you see Sabbath, Quran chapter 2, verse 65, it mentioned the Sabbath. Then you go to Quran chapter 4, verse 47, it mentioned the Sabbath. Then Quran chapter 4, verse 154, it mentioned the Sabbath. Quran chapter 7, verse 163, it mentioned the Sabbath. Then you go to Quran chapter 16, verse 124, it mentioned the Sabbath. So you see all the topics regarding Sabbath. It was only assigned to the children of Israel. There is no such thing as the Sabbath of the Arabs. It doesn't exist. Again, then we have Yakubu Yaya says, Baba, I will be joining you today on TikTok with a bunch of questions. By the way, I have not heard about Prince Mushrik. The last I heard, he was back to school by the correction. Prince Mushrik is just an amateur. Leave him alone. Yeah, this one, I think I read it already. So Shakuru says, Baba, could you explain how to think of the halves and the watch dispute, the Qira'at and so on? I have a video in my question and answer session. I have a video where I spoke about the halves and watch version, right? Kindly send me a WhatsApp message. I'll give you the link. I have it on my YouTube channel where I spoke about it for a length of time. I don't know if I have the time to break it down, because now if I have to speak about it, I have to prolong the issue. So, or if you come on TikTok, I'll try to find it and send you the link. So kindly send me a message on my WhatsApp number, and I'll send you the link to that particular video, right? I have a video on that, yes. And then the next question, let me see, which was only Hannah Bananas wrote a message. Yes, I saw all of this. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing the topic to an end. I'm going to TikTok. I've done 2 hours, 30 minutes, which is long. I will trim the video from the greetings part because it has taken a long time to finish the greetings, right? Somebody says, what is your take on Sadaqah to Jariyah? The Sadaqah Jariyah, that is a Sadaqah, a charity which is still flowing, right? No such thing as Sadaqah to Jariyah in the Quran, because the moment you are dead, everything about you is closed. Your file is closed, right? So that's why God tells the believers to leave a will. You leave a will before you die, so that the will, you already have your blessing, everything already intact. So there's nothing like, oh, the blessing is still going, is flowing. It's just like you are writing exams. The moment the whistle is blown for your exams to stop, you can't keep writing answers. Or can you say the marks are still ongoing? No. The moment you finish, where you stopped is where your answers, your reward is going to take off from. There's nothing like continuous reward. God never said that anywhere. It doesn't exist in the Quran, right? So it's a concept emanating from the Hadith books and not from Quran. Yeah, Talib says, Quran chapter 39, verse 60 is being used to these black people. Your insight, please. It has nothing to do with black people. If he says some faces will be darkened, it doesn't mean, okay, let me put the verse before I go. In Quran chapter 39, verse 60. This is the verse. And he says, and on the day of resurrection, you will see those who lied about God, their faces blackened. So the word used there is muswadda. Muswaddatun. So muswaddatun is to make something black, something which has been made black. So it doesn't mean the person was already black, right? It will be made black because they lied about God. So that's what the verse is. Neither does it say the person's whole body is black. So are you saying even a white Caucasian cannot have his face darkened? We have people putting charcoal on their face. We have people who even tan their body and then they go to tan and then only the face becomes dark because they tanned. So the verse has nothing to do with the black people in general. It's just describing how certain people the face will be darkened. For instance, I give an example. Baba Shuaib, I'm sitting here. Some people will classify me as a black man. But check my beard. Do you see my beard? Check the color of my beard and check the color of my face. It's not the same. So if we say Baba Shuaib's face has been darkened or blackened, it means it becomes more black, right? So it doesn't define a black man. No. So when people try to use verses out of context to just mock and don't take them serious, you have to brush it off and understand that they just don't have understanding. They lack logic. That's it. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where I bring the topic to an end. I don't want it to be so long. It will be, stressful to watch if it's very long. Thank you very much, Imran Khan. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the support. Fatima Chin, Sister Alma Johnson, I know you'll be watching, or I know you are there somewhere. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. S. Faraj, brother Khalil Ibn Bilal. I'm going to TikTok. Kindly join me before I lose my energy. I think my energy level was going down. So I'm bringing the topic to an end till we meet again next week, God willing. Before that, let me leave you with this video. If you want to go to paradise to actually fly on a woman, just like the guy said in the video, then be rest assured with such type of scholars. So peace be to you all. Enjoy this video before we go. Peace.
Another benefit in heaven is that no one falls sick.
No one falls sick. That's why you can manage all the 70.
Thank
why?
you.
So what and what else?
There's
why?
no sickness.
No sickness. Food.
Food is free, abundantly free. Even we as Muslims, we are not permitted to take alcohol in this world. But in paradise, we will drink alcohol.
In heaven, there is no beer. That is why they are drinking all the beer here.
And we are told that, see the funny thing, we are told that as for the alcohol in this world, when you drink it, you lose your mind. When you take it, you talk anyhow because you are now shameless. You don't care about anything because the mind is not there. But they said that the alcohol in heaven, when you drink it, you begin to fly like an aeroplane.
Hey! Quran told you people this.
Yes.
The Quran is unlike any other book.
Quran told you people this.
Yes. When you drink it,
you fly like aeroplane.
You begin to fly.
And you believed.
Yes. You begin to fly. And when you are landing, you will land on a woman.
This is hilarious.
Yes.
This is hilarious.
Yes. You begin to fly. And when you are landing, you will land on a woman. You will land on a woman.